Doug Kyde here with this week's Patriots video mailbag. Tweet me your questions at Doug Kyde using the hashtag MailDoug. First up, Seb asks, with the recent praise from former teammates and his draft stock seemingly on the rise, have you warmed up to the idea of Mac Jones at 15 or even trading up for him? Seb, I find the conversation surrounding Alabama quarterback prospect Mac Jones to be fascinating this offseason. His wide receivers in college, Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, both said he's better than Tua Tagovailoa, who went 5th overall to Miami Dolphins in the 2020 NFL Draft. He was the second quarterback off the board last year. Tua himself said that Mac Jones reminds him of Tom Brady. And obviously that's some very high praise that's not taken extremely seriously, since Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL. But I do think the Patriots should be listening to those evaluations. There's other people like June Jones and Charlie Weiss, former NFL coaches, who really like Mac Jones as well. And yeah, I've warmed up to the idea of taking him at 15. I could even see trading up for him if the Patriots believe that he's the guy. And I certainly think that he could be. It really seems like opinions vary quite wildly on Mac Jones. Some people do have him as the top quarterback in the class, which seems pretty wild over someone like Trevor Lawrence. Other people have him maybe as a second or third round pick and don't feel that highly about him. But I don't know. It's a stacked quarterback class, and I think that that's why some people are a little bit hesitant about Mac Jones. Do you really want to take the 5th quarterback, whether he does go 5th or not, behind Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance? If he's the guy, you trade up for him, you get him one way or the other, and I could certainly see him being the guy. Second question here, Jordan asks, if you could pick from the realistic options for us at quarterback this offseason, Garoppolo, Brissett, Mariota, Newton, Fitzpatrick, or trading up in the first round to take Fields, Lance, Jones, what do you think is the best option considering the Pats' circumstances? I wrote a little bit about this on Thursday morning, laying out all of the potential free agency blueprints depending on what the Patriots do at quarterback. They have so much cap room that they could really build around a quarterback no matter how much money they spend on him. But ideally, you would like to have a quarterback making about $13 million or less. So if the Patriots trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, which I do think would be a good scenario, you would probably want to reduce his salary a little bit, either by a restructure, a pay cut, maybe, transferring some of that money into incentives. Marcus Mariota could be around that $11 or $12 million range. And then other guys that we're talking about, Cam Newton, Jacoby Brissett, a rookie would be a little bit cheaper. I would probably say Garoppolo, Mariota, or a rookie. None of the other realistic options are really that exciting to me. Jacoby Brissett, not that interesting. Cam Newton certainly could be better with better weapons around him, and it would be tough to put worse weapons around him than he had last season with the Patriots, but definitely no guarantee that he would play at a high level in New England. Final question here, Dozer. Looks like there's a dog asking me a question. With such a deep class at wide receiver, doesn't it make sense to take a non-wide receiver at 15 and still get good wide receiver in the second? I like that in theory, but if Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, or tight end Kyle Pitts are there at number 15, I think the Patriots should rush to the podium or the virtual podium or however the NFL draft is conducted this offseason to make that pick, because those 4 wide receivers all have the potential to be special in the NFL, and I personally would not pass up on the opportunity to take any of those 4 guys.